G'day guys, welcome back to the Leagues Club podcast. Well, let's be honest, I had a really bad week, but we're going to get into it. We're going to get back on the pony. We're going to jump back on. We're going to start with some positive vibes. Last week, we had a win with the Dolphins, Tigers. Smifey, that was your play, mate. What was your thoughts on that game?
Tigers got the job done. Come back. They were down at halftime. Loving what I'm seeing with those guys. They're impressive. Kept the Dolphins scoreless. We didn't get our try scorer, Jareem, but I think he might be due this week. He might be due. How'd your game go?
Absolute horrendous, mate. The Raiders, yeah, boom. You know, I had great energy watching the game. I even had a friend of mine on Twitter reposted a play that I put out for the Raiders. I like the Raiders money line as well, and they just got the yellow card in the first half with like 14 minutes to go, and then Manly just opened up the fucking playbook and just destroyed the Raiders for the rest of the game. 40-12, absolutely pumped them. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to bet that bet last week, but we might have some redemption a bit later. But that takes us into a game that was full of excitement. The game of the week was Storm Panthers.
Storm Panthers, we lost our little parlay by half a point. Half time, it was 14-10. Storm needed to be winning by 4.5. Pappenhausen got over, but yeah, that's
I had the under in that game, which obviously was cooked. I had I think it was 46.5, which got absolutely smoked again, which was pretty brutal in the end because it was 30-24 that game finished. You know, the Panthers, they nearly came back and sneaked a try at the end, but
and they lost Cleary, so
yeah, Cleary's out, which was not good. So
few
they
injuries
did have
that game. Few injuries for Storm.
Few bright spots for Panthers, but like Jenkins, come on, he played pretty good, I think. So, you know, they definitely got a lot of players that want to get game time at Panthers. So him being out, not necessarily a massive thing for them, but, you know, it's not good to have your best player out. The other good thing that happened, apart from we had your win with the money line, but we got on Payne Haas at $6. So that was a half unit play. So I hope you guys at least jumped on that Haas try, because that would have covered you for my other absolutely horrendous bets that I had earlier in the week with the other games. Yeah, we just need a couple more. If we can find those little ones outside, you know, it's good. But that takes us into our first game. Smifey, I'll let you take away, mate. We've got the Dragon coming up against
Dragons
Storm.
versus Storm. So as we we're just saying, few injuries for Storm. They're still heavy favourites at 9.5. Total match points is 52.5. It looks like it's going to be wet, so I'm gonna steer clear of that one. Bit of a fact for you: Storm have scored first try in 80% of the games between these two teams. So you could throw down on Storm to score first at $1.56. A little bit of value there, maybe in a multi. However, I'm on Storm at the halftime line, which is -3.5. I got it at -3.5, and we're going 2 units on that, so we're really loading the cannons. We've also got half a unit on Munster to score a try at $2.90. What game are you on this week?
Yeah, nice, Major. So we got a 2-unit banger going down this week. Is that right? 2-unit banger happening.
We got a 2-unit banger. We're loading the cannons. For the first time this season, we're loading the cannons.
The first time in history we've got a 2-unit banger. The Storm first half, -4.5, $1.88 for Smifey. All right. And we got the Munster try. I like it. So, yeah, my game, mate, we got the Cowboys versus the Raiders in Townsville. It's going to be a cloudy, muggy day up there. It's 29 degrees with a 70% chance of rain for this game in the late afternoon. I think this game starts around 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So, you know, both of these teams haven't had the greatest performance in the last couple of weeks. Cowboys did come in to Brisbane with their game faces on. They did put up a good performance against the Broncos, kept within the number in that game. Whereas, like we were speaking before about the Raiders absolutely shat the bed. And Ricky Stewart, for one, is probably not going to let that happen 2 weeks in a row. He's the angriest man in the NRL. I don't think he's going to let any of those boys forget what happened last week at Brookvale. So I think they're going to come in real strong this week. I like them. I liked every game that they played this year. I loved. They had a stupid mistake in the first half and paid the consequences for it. If they weren't down by 18 points, they definitely would. That game would be. I think they would have won that game. They had another try that was disallowed early on for an obstruction call that was questionable, which would have changed the whole way that game would have been played because they would have been 6 up from the jump. So I'm going back to Canberra. Please, Canberra. I got the money line. We got it at $1.94. So hopefully they don't me this week. So Raiders, money line, $1.94. That's all I'm going to say about that game because we're going to move on. We're moving on. We're brushing Canberra off. We're talking about West Tigers, Auckland Warriors. Yeah, we're just going to keep moving. This is on Sunday. It is in Sydney at Campbelltown Stadium. It's the evening game. It's the last game of the round. Smifey, tell me what you got.
Mate, on this one, I'm going the unders, which is 47.5, paying $1.99, just a single unit. We won't load the cannons on this one. I think it's going to be a pretty evenly matched game. The last 5 games, they're both 3 wins and 2 losses each. And a little sprinkle on Jerome Luai, half a unit, $5.20. I think he's due. He hasn't got a try this season for his new club, so I think he's due to get over. As I said, I think it's going to be pretty even. I'm just sort of banking on the fact that Warriors don't generally travel that well. But, yeah, I think it's going to be a good matchup.
Yeah, mate, look, I've pretty much got the same angle like you have. I think it's going to be a close game. I've gone a different way with it, but I've taken the Warriors team total under 21.5 points. And the reason why is because the Tigers have held all of their opponents this year to under 18 points. They did have a blowout last week where they let the Dolphins score 18 points in the first half. But after that, they locked it down. They had Benji Marshall, went from the coach's box, and he came and sat on the sidelines and made sure the boys were doing that. Yeah, commitment. He made sure the boys are doing their job. You got Galvin and Luai in the centres. Sonny Taruva has been playing amazing. Same with Jerome Buller. Like he could have had a try last week, but he's a team guy. He ended up palming a few off to Sonny Taruva to get him over for a double. So like he's a team guy. First home game back since they lost against Newcastle. I think you're on the right fucking bandwidth with that one, Smythe. I think look, Jerome's getting over. I reckon he's got to meet Pie in him this week.
He's due.
I haven't got any. He's due. I haven't got any try scorers in that. I do like Luau in that game. But, yeah, my main play is going to be the Warriors team total under 21.5, and that's at $1.87. Okay, so moving on to try time, guys. You've heard Smifey's tries. He's got Munster and Jerome Luau. So I'm going to give you mine. They're not in the games that I picked. So I've got Ola Kuatu to get over. He's paying $2.20 for Manly. They're coming up against the Eels. I just think he's going to steamroll. He didn't get a try last week in their big win against the Kiwis in New Zealand. So I think he's going to get over this week. Against the Raiders. So I think he's going to get over this week. And I've also got Rava Valawa for the Bunnies. The last try he scored was in June last year when he was playing for the Dragons. He had a double. Hasn't scored since then. Scored no tries to start the year. They're playing up against the Panthers. I think he could get one this week, and he's got value right now at $2.15. So jump on that. Smifey, you got anything extra to look out for the week? Anything from you?
Mate, I'll leave that, and we've got our new videos that'll come out the late mail. Just as it pops up, we're going to send it out. And, yeah, just stay tuned for that.
Beauty. All right, guys. Well, thanks for watching. Make sure to stay to the end. We've got our tips, our weekly tips at the end there, and a little bit more detail. Some of these guys' names for tries are near impossible for us to say half the time. So if you need the spelling, all that stuff will be at the end of the video. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks, guys.